Hello everyone and welcome back to Every Other Saturday. So in today's video we're going to discuss that lovely 4-0 win against Ross County. Now it was a nice hard fought victory, to be fair. They had the defensive attitude that we expected them to have, but one caveat we can't take away from it: as much as it sucks that it wasn't Ibrox, it's always good to see fans back in the stadium. Now they are obviously the Ross County fans, but it's fantastic to see that. It does give you hope that one day we will be back at Ibrox cheering on the famous Glasgow Rangers instead of watching via laptops and Sky Sports and all this carry on. So as always guys, if you haven't done so, consider giving us a wee like, share and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, get out to as many people as possible. Doesn't cost you a single penny and it just helps us get out there. So if you don't mind guys, that would be class. Now let's not waste any more time guys and get smashed straight into the video.
Every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland.
As expected, we did have the changes to the team. Now I didn't expect to see these two, Arfield and Barisic, being on the bench, but they got the wee rest that they needed, to be fair, and the boys that came in and took their place certainly didn't do any problems there at all. So showing that Bassi has the ability to take that position away from Barisic, it lets us know that Bonner Bear can take the break when he needs it. We do have that lovely team management ethos, and we managed to get this swapped out and changed as and when it needs to do to give these players the rest that they need. Gerrard has moulded that team with that thought in mind, and you can see that that's been his thought. We're having these 2, 3, sometimes even 4 people for the one position, so having that makes you feel that wee bit easier, knowing that the quality will not drop with the changes. The game started exactly the way we expected, with Ross County sitting with a wee bit more of a defensive formation and defensive style to hold back and play on the counter, but Rangers did come out as well with the whole strength in mind to try and get the ball forward as quick as possible to create as many chances as possible. Now I will hold up my hands, I never managed to see absolutely every minute of the first 20. We were out this morning with the kids at the park, so I managed to get back and I seen from kind of the 18th, 19th minute, but a wee shout out to channel legend Scott McFarlane for keeping me up to date with what was going on. But it seemed to be a kind of back and forward with possession in the first 20 minutes to basically try and break it down, with Ross County being as tight as they were and Rangers trying their hardest to break through. It was just after the kind of 20-minute mark that we managed to see the first effort on goal. That shows you how back and forward it was. Ross County managing to get the ball forward through a kind of counter-attack. He manages to tuck inside the defender and just hit the shot, and McGregor was 100% equal to it. But that was our first kind of sign on goal. But it didn't come from Rangers, but we finally got there. In about the kind of 28th minute, Rangers managed to break the deadlock, managed to get the ball, a wonderful team goal, the ball with Davis. You'll notice that name a lot in this game, to be fair, but the ball with Davis, spreading it out to Tavernier, him getting down the line, ball whipped in nice and low, and Kamar Roof gets onto it with just the touch that's needed to get the ball in the back of the net. 1-0 Rangers, Kamar Roof, well done big man. Now just about a minute or two later, he had the opportunity again, just in the edge of the box, dropping the shoulder coming off the defender, but he just sent that ball too high and didn't get a chance to double his tally and sent it just over the post. Now there was a couple of dodgy decisions coming from the referee, to be fair, in the first half, starting with one of the most weird calls I've ever seen. Ball played over from a corner, Rangers ball in, and straight header out by the Ross County defender. Couldn't be more clear, goes out for the corner and the referee calls by kick. I'm like, wow. It's funny these people are sponsored by Specsavers, because I don't understand how he did not see that. And there was a really dodgy tackle on Morelos, to be fair. The ball came through to him, he had the touch, and the player just takes him and clean sweeps out him. And to be fair, on any other day you could have seen that being a red card, to be honest. And again, a wee dodgy decision from me. He did get the booking, he did, but could have been red, so not happy with the ref's performance. There was a bit of stramash after that challenge. Now you could see the full line kind of heard obviously something being said, and apparently there was a kind of racial slur said to Morelos, which again all of these people heard on the sidelines and the referee didn't hear. Now I'm not blaming the referee for being racist here and just ignoring it, but see, to be honest, see if this is the truth and that actually happened. It's sickening. Look at everything that's happening on the pitches at the start, taking the knee and all this Black Lives Matter stuff. Now I'm not going to get too political and into that stuff, but if we're trying to eradicate racism from football, this should be happening on Scottish football pitches. You can see how bad it's happening in England at times, but it should not be happening on Scottish football pitches. We have a bad enough name with kicking the sectarianism out of football at times. We do not need that tarnishing our name. That takes us kind of roughly up to the end of the first half and into the second. It was a kind of back and forward for the last couple of minutes of the first half, to be fair, and that took us right into the second half, which started exactly the same way. Hammer and tongs both teams, to be fair. Not exactly much happening for the first couple of minutes, but again 50-50 possession stuff, team holding in tight, Rangers trying to break through. It's always going to be that way because let's face it, when a defensive minded formation in front of you, you just have to keep pounding and pounding the door until you manage to break through. The first chance we got in the second half came from a ball in for Ryan Kent to Kamar Roof, which makes its way to Morelos in the 6-yard box, and once again Alfie misses what I can only class as a clear-cut opportunity. Man of his calibre should be putting balls like that, no problem, in the back of the net, and he's wasting his time, to be honest. He looks so lazy, he looks so lethargic, and it just looks like he doesn't want to be there. It was a half swipe at it as well. Anybody on the end of that, you would think to yourself, oh, it's going in. But see, because Morelos had it at his feet, I just knew for a fact it wasn't going to be a goal. So once again, another chance goes big, and surprise, surprise. And the 55th minute manages to roll round, and Kent again has the ball on the wing, getting the ball down, getting it whipped in. Now it manages to get right across, and it gets to Kamar Roof again, and it does a kind of bounce, and it manages to just clip the defender, but as it comes off the defender, Tav's there just to take the wee extra deflection it needs to send the ball home and put Rangers up again to 2-0. Now again, James Tavernier, we keep saying this again, keeps getting the goals, keeps putting the plaudits in, assists, goals and performances. This guy, he just has it all now, he really does. It's the season of his life, and honestly, I know it's difficult to put it into words just how well you look at this player when he comes on the park, but it's funny when you see it, because I thought James Tavernier can only score penalties, apparently they say, across the other side of the city, but hey ho. So the first substitution came around the kind of 65th minute, and it was Joe Aribo off for Scotty Arfield. He's had his break, he's had his 65 minutes to sit and watch, but Arfield back on. As Stephen Gerrard says, he's in, he plays because he plays on merit, and he came on and did exactly what he always does. Keeps the engine room going, didn't get involved too much in any goals or anything like that, but keeps the engine room going, him and Steve Davis in the middle of the park. Again, another one of those players that you don't ever really need to worry about this season, because he's doing the jobs and he's doing them well. Just after that though, to be fair, at that substitution, Ross County had their opportunity and the ball was played across, and it was a complete lack in judgment, to be fair, from the defence. It's uncharacteristic to see this happening. The ball made it right across and just bet all four of them, got to the back post, and the boy was at the back, just stuck the leg out, and to be fair, if he had a wee bit more composure, the ball could have been in the back of the net, but he sent it over the goals, and the clean sheet stays intact at this time. So we were lucky, but again, Ross County getting their chances, showing that they're not willing to stop, but they do have that bad record with putting the ball in the net, and looking at that today you can see why. 71st minute rolls around, and goal number 3 goes in the back of the net. Now once again, ball played out, Davis to Tav working his way right down the side, whipping the ball in, and Callum Morris for Ross County sticking his leg out to try and stop that cross coming in, unfortunately for the boy putting it in his own net. But these things happen in football, you get those unlucky deflections, but it's unlucky for him, but it's lucky for us. And see, to be honest, don't care how the ball goes in the back of the net, that's 3-0 for Rangers, and again, we keep pushing on and there's no stop, there's no hold back. Now we've got 3 goals, let's just hold it up at that. And with that being said, this is when we see some more substitutions. Now, I said in a couple of previous videos ago that I was annoyed that Gerrard didn't make any substitutions. It was my negative part of that video to say I was annoyed that Gerrard didn't change it and give the other people the chance to come on and maybe get a wee reaction out of the team. But there was 4 substitutions, you cannot ask for anything more. Now, we had Morelos coming off for Defoe, which, as we can see by the end of the video, was a fantastic idea. Kamara came off for Zungu. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen here. We've got Kamar Roof coming off for Itten, and then just at the end of that there, when we thought that was it done, we had Ryan Kent coming off to make way for Yanis Hadji. Now again, all of these substitutions, have I said any of those names where you think that, oh, taking him off, we're going to weaken the team? No. If I'm brutally honest, I have to be. Not seeing a lot coming for Zungu. I'm not seeing a lot. Now, all these videos we've seen before he signed for Rangers, we've seen him with these passes and wonder strikes and all this carry on now. I'm not seeing it so far. I don't know if he's just not quite fit there, but he was quite quiet in the game. Is it just the fact he was quiet? I'm not too sure, but he's not living up to all the hype so far. And hopefully in the next couple of games, with so many that are coming up, we can see him starting, maybe getting some assists on the board, maybe even scoring. But I think we need to see a wee bit more coming for Bogani Zungu, to be fair. And also with Yanis Hadji coming on, it's good to see him. He's fell down the pecking order, there's no two ways about that. There's a lot more people in front of him who are playing, scoring and doing the job, to be fair. Hadji just seems to have fell down the pecking order. We'll work out why later on in the season, I think, but it was good to see him get on and get some minutes back on his legs and see how he's doing. Also, it gives Kent the chance to rest, because he's getting a lot of games in now, Ryan Kent. We don't want to see him getting injured, and obviously with taking that wee swipe clearance there at the end, I wouldn't like to see him getting injured and then losing a few games through injury like that. So it's good to see that swap happening. It was a good, productive one from Gerrard. So in the last minute of the 90, we had one of the next goal for us, and if I'm brutally honest, that goal was just that wee bit more important. Not for us, not for Rangers, but for Jermain Defoe, the man that got it. Now, this is 800 career appearances, and he's managed to mark it with a goal. So it was fantastic. It was great to see that happening. He came on the park and I was sitting with my fingers crossed. If I'm brutally honest, I wanted him to start. He's playing this way now, and it's just, he comes on and you don't think Jermain Defoe's just there as a backup, to be honest. Well, I certainly don't. I think he's there to do a job. But having that 800 career goals, getting 800 career games, getting the goal to mark it was a wee bit special for us. I like to see him doing that, because he seems to be putting his wee heart and soul into the last tail end of his career here. Who would think this guy is 38 years old? Honestly, see if we had him maybe 5 years ago and he still had a wee bit of pace in the legs, I'd believe that he would be, right now I would say he would definitely be starting over Morelos, because when he comes on you think he's going to score. I've got a wee stat here to go along with that now. He has got 235 minutes in the last few games. He has 3 goals and 2 assists. Now that's a 38-year-old man that's coming on. He started a few games as well, but he's still playing better than Morelos in my eyes. He should be starting a wee bit more, but I understand why he's not. Again, that's that man management and team management on again there from Gerrard. Now, we did have another chance just in the tail end of the game there in the last kind of dying minutes, and the ball came through with what has to be classed as nothing more than a class long ball again from Connor Golson. Lands right at the feet of Itten. He tries to turn, but he takes it out too wide and it kind of fizzles out to nothing. That was the closest kind of other chance we had before the end of the final whistle. Now again, guys, that was another top draw performance. 4-0 win, running out at the end of that to put us another 3 points in top. That's 14 points clear until Celtic play. Obviously, I'm recording this before the Celtic game's kicked off, but hopefully that stays at 14 points and the pressure can just keep piling on everyone below us. But a couple of switches in the game, rotation in the right ways, class for class swaps, and balls in the back of the net. Now, again, what can we ask for? We've had far too many years of these kind of games running out as draws or losing games in the last 10-15 minutes. The Gerrard really has pushed this through now that we have that complete ethos change at Ibrox, and it's fantastic. I know I say Ibrox and that was up by Dingwall, but you know what I mean. And it's just fantastic to watch, and it's great to know when you sit down and watch a Rangers match that you don't sit there and think, are we going to get beat today? Because let's face it, do you remember the last time we got beat? Because I don't. It's a fantastic thing to have. So well done again, boys. So moving on to man of the match. Now this was a toss-up for me. There was two there. Again, had a couple of guys telling me who man of the match should be. Again, I'm going to have to give him a shout out. Scott McFarlane, he's the first one straight on to give me information for the channel. Can't have that been hidden. And if I'm honest, I'm going to have to give it to Captain Tav. I think his ability on the ball, the way he plays, the chances he creates, and again another goal. I can't take it away from him. The guy played amazing again today, but I will give the honourable mention to Steve Davis. Again, tail end of the career, 35-year-old, full 90 minutes, looked as if he didn't even need to come off the park. The engine room in the middle of the park that gets the ball and spreads it wide when we need to, gets it and plays those killer passes. He was even passing them through to Morelos as well. He didn't get on as many as he should have done, but again, I'll give him that honourable mention. So well done, Stevie Davis, but I'll give the man of the match to Captain Tav. And goal of the game. Now this is absolutely no surprise. I'm going to give this one to Jermain Defoe. Now this was by all means no worldie from 25 yards out. It wasn't a fantastic free kick, but it was a goal that marked the 800 games for Jermain Defoe. Now, in the time he's been here, he's been a good servant, and I believe the attitude that he has is kind of another factor to why Rangers players themselves are playing the way that they are, because he does have a good work ethic on him. But I'm going to give that goal of the game 100% to Jermain Defoe. Well done on 800 games, my man. Negatives to take away from this game, again, you'll be surprised when we saying this, but it's 100% Alfredo Morelos. Now, we had a couple of months back in lockdown before all this carry on, we had a £25 million striker. We have nowhere near that now. It's another game that goes by where he just looks like he doesn't want to be here. Would it surprise me that he would be sold for something along the lines of 5-6 million? No. And I think, to be honest, it would be time to get rid of him in January if this continues all the way up. If he turns on and he changes his attitude and he starts to get the goals and he's going to be sold for more money, then that's fine. But I had a comment today from one of the guys in the channel as well. Dougie said to me, it just genuinely looks like he's fat and doesn't want to be there, and he's going around moving the wrong way. And I agreed with Dougie when he said that, because he is going round about it the wrong way, because it's clear and obvious he doesn't want to be here, right? He wants to be at bigger teams, right? No bigger teams than Glasgow Rangers in my eyes, but obviously to him there isn't. So he wants to go and play in different teams. Is he ever going to get that when he starts this carry on and this attitude? Petulant child. Now, he's grown up a wee bit since all that, since when he came. He's not a young man anymore. He's kind of getting into the middle stages where his mind and his attitude should just be clicked on constantly. Get on that park and play 100%. I'm not asking every player to go out and play 100% every single game. But even when the rest of the squad aren't playing good, they still try. And we don't get that from Morelos. So, again, I don't mean to rabble on about him, but that's my negative I'll take away from today. So the long and the short of it, guys, that's another 3 points in the bag. It's another step towards the end of the season. League victory again, and we can't really go wrong with it. The boys are putting out these performances again. I'm going to give pass marks to absolutely everybody in the park except one guess who failed. But we'll leave it at that for him again, because I'm not going to keep going. But again, pass marks for everybody on the park except himself, and we can take that in and move on to these next tight run of fixtures that we've got going all the way up to the end of December. Now again, thanks for everybody that keeps watching. This video will be slightly longer than I think I want it to be, but thanks again for everybody that keeps watching, liking and subscribing and getting involved in the comment section below. There'll be a couple of wee videos going out before the next game, so have a wee look out for them coming up. And what I'm going to try and do rolling up to Christmas time is I'm going to do my best to see if we can get some form of prize for you guys, and we're going to do a wee giveaway to see if we can reward some of these subscribers that are coming in, because I know it doesn't cost you anything to do, but it means a lot to me, and I'd like to give something back to you. So I'm looking in to get a wee giveaway for you towards the Christmas period as well, between kind of Christmas and New Year. So look out for that, guys, okay? But again, thanks for all your help, guys, and if you haven't gave us a wee like and subscribe, get down there. It doesn't cost you a thing, but very much appreciated. But this has been Every Other Saturday, guys, and I will see you on the next one.